Right, I get asked all the time, I want to buy a pharmacy. How do I start? Where do I begin? I don't have the money. Let me tell you something. We can help you from start to finish. If you want to open a pharmacy, you want to buy a pharmacy, maybe you want some advice or you wanted it together, absolutely get in touch because we can guide you from start to finish. And everybody asks me, is a pharmacy a profitable business? The reality is, any business, there's going to be risk. Simple as that. That's the first thing you've got to understand. There's going to be risk. Whether it's profitable or not profitable, that will come down to your hard work and your due diligence and you making the right choices in a business. That's important. There are people out there selling their parking spaces and making money. There are people out there selling stock, for example, Tesco's, pharmacy services and so on. So yes, a pharmacy business is profitable because you have access to patients, you have access to a service that is required. And we know with COVID and everything that's happened in the world, pharmacy has stood the test of time. There's always going to be need for a pharmacist, or rather a pharmacy or some sort of healthcare, a doctor. There's always going to be need for food and land. So these are 4 things that I feel that you should absolutely think about if you're looking to open a business. The question is, how do you go about opening a pharmacy? Where do you start? Do you buy one? Do you start from scratch? What I will say is starting from scratch is a lot more challenging now. I don't like to use the word difficult. Let's not be negative. It's more challenging. Why? Because there's already many pharmacies that have opened and this is a regulated business. So you cannot just open because you feel like it, and you need permission. You need permission. So there's no objection, then you can open one. So you're best served by trying to buy a pharmacy that already exists. And when we're talking about buying a pharmacy that already exists, that means that there's going to be some down payment that has to be made. I would say, if you call me and you say, I want to buy a pharmacy, I would ask you, do you have at least 100 or 100,000 pound plus cash, maybe up to 200,000 pound minimum? And you might say, Faheem, why? Why are you saying 200,000 pound? Because as it stands today in 2024, any pharmacy that's doing around 6,000 items, so that's the number of physical items we dispense. So imagine you have a prescription, and on that prescription you have 3 items, that's 3 items. So 6,000. That means that pharmacy will be worth around 800,000, maybe slightly more. The banks will lend you around 70%. So if you think about it, 800,000, 70%, 7 8 of 56, so 560,000 pounds. That means that you need to fork out around 200 and X plus to make sure that you can buy that pharmacy. So you can see that that's the kind of money that's required in order to make sure that you can open up this pharmacy. So you need to have the money in place. That doesn't mean that you have to have cash. Nope. It might mean that you mortgage a property. You can get some lending from friends and family. For example, I've taken plenty of money from Farouk, who's actually making the video. So he's smiling, asking when am I going to have it back. But what I'm trying to say is that you can borrow money from friends and family and hopefully never give it back. This is not true. That's not true. But friends and family, you can go to a bank. You could maybe sell something. I had a joke, but I'm not going to say it. But my point was that you can definitely organize the money. How you do it, we can certainly help that as well. And if any of you folks are struggling or you're unsure, get in touch with us. So first of all, requirement number 1, you need around 200,000 pounds. If you've got 100,000 pounds, that's a good start, but you need that much. Then it's a question of which pharmacy to go for. I had a good friend call me today. I'm not going to mention his name, but if he's watching the video, he knows who I'm talking about. He said, I've got a 72-hour pharmacy business. Would you invest in it? And, oh wait, shouldn't use the word investment. Would you buy that business? I asked him, before you go into any business that's more than 40 hours, ask yourself, are you going to be able to work those number of hours over long term? For example, a 72-hour business means it's going to be open to 9 o'clock at night, pretty much Monday to, let's say, Saturday. So it starts to become challenging. So think of your work-life balance. I prefer 40-hour chemists because they're more profitable given the fact that they have less overheads. So that's something to consider. So buying a pharmacy, if you're interested, folks, get in touch with us. We can go through it from start to finish. I can explain to you how to read accounts. If you can't read accounts, folks, we've got a problem. How do we read accounts? How do we check the business is profitable? We can do that from start to finish. And as you know, I'm already in the process of developing a huge series on how to open a pharmacy from start to finish. Get in touch with us, subscribe, like, and share. Thank you for watching.